We are live. How exciting. Woohoo. I'm so excited to talk YouTube today. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, and because I'm a learner, I just a continual learner, and I have the best mentor on this. I think I have ever found, because Fran Asaro is just so brilliant
Oh,
at distilling down what you need to know, making sure that it's not way over your head, but also not dumbing it down to the point where you're like, I don't need this, right? You need it. Like there's so much fabulous, beautiful detail. And Fran has been such an expert in YouTube and so deeply embedded in learning how things are working, what's changing, and constantly in it. And it's always different. It's like different every day on YouTube. I swear, I think it's different every day. And she's all deep in that world. And when you have such deep knowledge, getting it out there and getting it shared with those of you who can benefit from it is so critically important. And that's why it's my job right here today to bring you Fran Asaro. So, here on Feed Your Brand, the podcast episode, and our coaching call for all things podetized and all things podcasters united, we have the brilliant senior tuber Fran Asaro today, and we are going to talk about YouTube engagement. Hey, Fran, thanks for joining us.
oh my gosh, Tracy, thank you so much for having me. You know how excited, first of all, we seem to click when we do this together, and I'm really thrilled to help anybody who wants to grow their channel. So this is a great gift. Thank
Right.
you.
We don't have to be seniors to work with you, but
Absolutely
it
not.
is your niche area. And I love that
Yeah.
because it implies that there's so much about technology that we think we know,
Yes.
but we really don't know. And it's not always important for us to know everything about how the YouTube algorithm works. We need to know how we need to interact with it. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Right. And also, I just want to say that some of us are not 20 and we just want to learn at a different pace. And so that's why I call it senior tuber, because if you can't run with the 20-year-olds, then maybe a slower pace would help anybody who needs to.
I love it. Well, sometimes we do need to slow down, no matter if we're 20 or not. Slow
Yeah.
down a little and really analyze and think about what we're doing from a careful perspective about whether or not this fits a trend that's going on. And that's where I want to start today, Fran, because
Okay.
I want to start with that there is a significant algorithm shift and a focus shift. I'm just going to call it focus because that's really what it is. It's not just in the algorithm, it's in all kinds of levels of big business practices at Google and at YouTube, because Google owns YouTube, that is focused on this idea of audience satisfaction. And that means that we can't just play an algorithm game. It's not good enough. We have to concentrate on our content, which is really important. And we have to make sure that the audience walks away really satisfied from that content.
Yeah.
And a really important indicator of that is YouTube engagement or comments, likes, shares, subscribers, right? Like all of those things are indicators that our show is worthy.
Yeah, exactly. And I talk about the algorithms in, basic form because I don't know how to explain the technical, but YouTube's algorithm is they want to keep you on the channel, the platform as long as they can so they make money. And we're a microcosm of that. We want to keep people on our channel as long as we can so we make money and YouTube makes money. That's really all you have to do. And so with the four quadrants, with I call it optimization, where you learn how to optimize your channel and your video, monetization, where you strategically learn how to earn money through YouTube, and then maximizing your videos so people stay on your line, on your channel, and then engagement. If you have those four, if you just educate yourself on those four, you got it made. You're better
And
than 90% of the people on YouTube.
and I want to step in here and say just because you might not be monetizing through YouTube's model, like
Exactly.
ad money or anything like that, doesn't mean you're not monetizing your content. And
Exactly.
that means that you need those people to listen all the way through because they need to want to reach out to you and buy your book and
Yeah.
buy your course and come back to your core business from that. And the most brilliant thing about this, so for those of you podcasters out there, you know how hard it is to get them off of Apple and Spotify and get them back into your ecosystem, to your home base, to your website, right? It's hard to get them off of that because there's no outreach. YouTube provides all that. It is going to be one of the most brilliant platforms for being able to do YouTube podcasts coming up. It's not quite fully shifted over there. It's kind of like halfway there. But as it does it, it's the one place where you'll actually be able to talk to your listeners and viewers. That's a fabulous opportunity and connection base that you can make. So this engagement, learning this engagement piece is critical. And this is the one piece that I think most people have no clue about in YouTube. We think occasionally I make a comment on a video, but we don't think of it as important.
Right? We don't. As a matter of fact, even it might have been that way 10 years ago. You could slap a video on, but nowadays so many people are on YouTube and making money, but they're learning the ins and outs so that they can increase their and leverage their channel for other people.
So let's talk a little bit about the difference between YouTube as a social engagement platform versus the other social media channels out there. They're quite different.
Yes.
And what do you see as the significant difference to, say, let's say YouTube and Instagram, or YouTube and Facebook?
I know I sound like a broken record, but YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, second only to Google, who owns it. So what happens is you can be searched for years and years to come, where in other platforms you may get lost in a day, a week, a month, where I have people still engaging in videos I put up 5, 6, 7 years ago and still earning money from them. So I don't think a lot of channels will do that. Plus, you do have some channels that become like what's going on with TikTok. You don't know if it's going to be there tomorrow. You want to make sure many of those people are coming over to YouTube even as a backup, because it's a more solid foundation. And that's what we want, something that seems a little bit more solid. Nothing's guaranteed, but definitely that.
Well, I have this relevancy chart that I've used before, and I'll drop it in the blog post for this episode at podcastersunited.org so that you can see this. But I have a relevancy chart. And really what it shows is that the amount of relevant content, how long a piece of content lasts in social media, is extremely short. And it can be anywhere from an hour. I think TikTok, it's 30 minutes. Like, it's really scary how short that relevant window is,
Exactly.
all the way down to Pinterest, which lasts 4 days. Like, so like, that's crazy to think about. But YouTube, months, podcast and blogs, years.
Yes.
That's a huge difference right there from just even being able to, like, as you put it, that searchability. And then if it becomes popular, if it's liked a lot, if it's viewed a lot, if it's shared a lot, it can stay in that relevance for quite a long time.
Exactly. And that's why engagement is so important. It helps you connect to your audience, build trust, keep people there. You'll be able to get feedback from them. They'll be able to help you improve your channel. There's a lot of interaction when you have a channel that is probably, it's a business in and of itself. There's so many things you could do on YouTube from there that you run your business and then share with all the other platforms. So it's not like we're discouraging you need all those other platforms, but just this would be great as a foundation so that you have one place where it starts and then it trickles down to your other platforms.
I love that. I love that thinking on it. That's why we live stream right into YouTube right now, right? That's one of the models that we do. Now, we do make sure we have our own home base that we own, which is our website, but everything that we do on YouTube is embedded in that website. So they're actually very integrated. And that is our strategy here. I want to really talk about that engagement piece on YouTube. Does it really get you more video views and more channel subscribers? Can it do that?
Well, think about it. If you see somebody on YouTube and you like them and you comment and they don't respond to you, you feel a little slighted. So you want to make sure that you are completely connected to your people, whichever way you decide. I mean, there's many ways to do it. I've got 5 I'm going to be sharing today. I've got 20 more ways to do it behind that. And if you just learn the ones that feel right for you, because it is important. Think about any of your favorite businesses and how you feel when they send you something, email you something, mail you something, call you up. And this is our way digitally to stay in touch with people, and people like it by knowing that you care, that they're there.
Right. So what you're saying is that engagement is a two-way street, right? Like, we have
Yes.
to, if they're going to engage with us, we have to encourage it by engaging back.
Yes, those are my first 2. So yeah, just to start off, my first one is to answer questions. Anything that if they're going to comment, and you can answer them 3 ways. You can answer them in the comment section, you can answer them in a video section, or you can answer them in your community page. But the idea is to answer them. If somebody is commenting in some way to you, you want to Go there and answer them. Don't just like their statement. Go in there and actually communicate. And that's a big thing. Even I have to connect. I'm liking things and loving things all day long, but how many of those people heard from me in my heart? So you want to respond to them and maybe give them an FAQ. If they're having questions, send them to your FAQ section. And you also want to put anything you want, like your FAQ section could be in your community page. You want to make sure you provide as much help as possible to anybody who's asking, because that's free advertising. You have somebody who's asking, that's going to stay on your channel, that comment. And then other people are going to learn from that and they may be triggered. I have one of my videos is thousands of comments and because people keep standing on the shoulders of the previous comment.
Right. So that, yeah, it can kind of continue to build on that. Is there a way for us to encourage video comments, like kickstart it?
Yes. So that was the next thing. Because if people aren't asking questions, it's your job to make sure that you ask them, right? So you could ask them what they're thinking. You could ask them any general question. You could ask them to subscribe or to comment or to share, whatever you want to do, but asking them, what did you think of this video? Or what did you learn? Or what have you done that might be different from what I said? And promote people to respond. Again, community page, in the videos, or on the comments section. Just keep staying with them. Like that's your way of, like, you can't see them. Oh, you're not going to go to their house. You're going, this is your place. This is your channel to be able to ask them anything. And then that promotes people to respond.
Well, podcasters, you have a great opportunity. So thinking about that, you doing guest interviews, you all have an opportunity to ask your guest an additional question. So you could even kickstart it that way and say, now, what questions do you have for Fran Asaro? Like I can do that right in the video. So you have an opportunity to not just ask out randomly, you can ask and interact with your guests and jumpstart those comments.
Yes. And doing it in the beginning of a video is always important because not everybody has somebody watching their videos all the way through. So either you can ask them a question up front, or you can say, stick around. We have some questions for you that we really want your opinion on, or we have a poll for you because your opinion matters.
So that's doing it on the video, but you could also be doing it in the comments at a specific timestamp. Is that correct?
You could put it on a specific timestamp and then it would show up in the video. You can do that for sure.
Okay, interesting. So how do we encourage more channel subscribers? How do we get them to do that? What's the best way to do that?
Subscribers, well, shorts really help with subscribers. Okay. The more shorts you put out, you're going to get more views, and that's going to lead to more subscribers. And then it also leads to the long form videos, which is going to give you watch time hours. And that's how you can earn money later on by getting to become a YouTube partner. And staying available, letting people know what they can expect from you will also help with subscribers. If they know you're showing up every week for a podcast, or you're going to have a live every week, and they want to be a part of that, that would also promote, because they know what to expect from you, and they're going to, if they're interested, they're going to join.
They're going to come into the next one. And so, yeah, subscribe so you get notified the next time we go live here on Feature Brand, yes, right? Like exactly. that you want to say that you want to put those in any kind of the tools. There's info cards, there's end cards, there's all kinds of little tools exactly. that you can utilize on your videos, but encouraging those. I think that you're right that I'm a bigger fan of using the YouTube shorts to send to the channel overall, or send to that full length video. I only do one or the other. I don't do like the next video or the next thing. I prefer to have it send directly back to the channel because I think they're going to get more that way.
Well, that's up to the person. If you feel like your shorts are very pertinent to, like if my podcast gave 10 ways to support your YouTube part, your favorite YouTube creator, I'm going to want those shorts to go to that podcast so they can see the other 9, right? If you'll be the judge of that. This is not what I say it goes. This is an idea of whatever fits for you. But same thing, you could have office hours. If you could have announcements, you could do lives, you can just post things wherever you want in the community page, whatever it takes to stay in touch, and whatever feels right for you. Because if you're not going to do it, then don't let that be on your list of things to do. Put the things that you feel inclined to do.
It just dawned on me that some people may not be YouTube savvy enough to understand the difference between their channel and their community pages.
Right.
Could you tell us the difference between the two?
It's almost like a homepage for a video. So when you have your homepage for YouTube, you have your banner, the name of your channel, and it's got menu tabs at the top, right under the name. And one of those is community. And that's almost like a Facebook page or another
It's
platform
like a
page.
feed roll, a blog
Yes.
roll, a feed. Yeah.
So you could put in all your posts, but you could also do polls and questionnaires, and you could put videos in there. I don't advise videos because they're already watching videos. You want to give them something different. And then if you have a membership club through YouTube, you could actually speak to each member, a member level, by choosing who's going to get that community post. So it doesn't have to go to
Interesting.
everybody. You could put, isolated messages to your community.
Interesting. So there's a lot more opportunity for engagement there that
Yes.
not as many people are taking advantage of, I
Not
imagine.
at all. No.
Okay, so we did channel subscribers, comments, community page, video likes. Like, do they still matter? Do you want people to thumbs up and the videos?
Yes.
And does it really matter if they thumbs down it?
Well, nobody else is going to know but you, but it could affect the algorithms because maybe you won't get as many impressions if they're noticing nobody's liking it. But they took that piece out where people can't see how many dislikes you have, but you'll know, and YouTube will know. So you do want to make sure that people are liking it. And yes, it matters. Comments matter, shares matter, any kind of subscriptions, all that matters. So you're going to want to promote that however you want. You could ask them every time. You could ask them once in a while. Make sure if you like this, you share it, whatever. Sometimes we don't think of it. I know this business and I don't always think to share. So if somebody says, don't forget to share, we're not getting insulted anymore. We're used to hearing it. And sometimes that gets me to take action.
Yeah, like we need an invitation to say, I was like, oh, Fran just delivered such great value to me.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, we want to do something for her. So if she says, the best thing you could do to help me out is to share this, you're going to do it because you want to pay
Exactly.
it forward.
Exactly. And the thing is, if you're a YouTube creator, you want to learn how to support other YouTube creators. That's why I did the podcast about it, because you want to learn how to support others. And in return, send that podcast to other people, your people, and let them support you the same way. So it's really interesting what you put out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got subscribes, comments, likes. I want to quickly touch on the dislikes, though. So can dislikes get you into a little bit of trouble if you're just like, I mean, this is a video about, what we hate. So you don't want to click the thumbs up. So do you have to be careful with your your content being
Yeah.
actually more attuned to disliking, and that could actually hurt you?
Yes, some people are disruptors, so they don't mind getting dislikes. They don't care. It depends. Do you want to be something that's shared because people liked it? I have people who want to have complaint channels, and I said, that's fine. You want to have a complaint channel or a reaction channel, that's fine. But do you know who your audience is going to be? And are you okay with that audience? And so if you want people who are the types that dislike, that's something you'll have to decide when you put up that video. Do you want to put something that people are going to say, I don't agree, I do agree? It's going to cause a lot of reaction, and if you have to be up to it.
Well, I think in YouTube's current focus of audience satisfaction, even if they're not dissatisfied, it's what they wanted was a chance to complain. Then you've satisfied
Exactly.
your audience, so it still
Yeah,
works, even if it's not what you actually think of as positive message, right?
exactly.
I love that. So you talked about sharing, motivating someone to share, and making sure to mention that. What are we missing? I think there's a fifth thing I might have missed there.
So you want to ask them to share, comment, um, subscribe, like, and there is one thing missing. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that.
I thought there was a fifth thing. I think it's that you're supposed to reciprocate, right? Like you're supposed to
Well,
do it.
no, that wasn't it. But yes, you're supposed to reciprocate. But I think there's
Okay.
one other thing. I'll have to go to my own video now.
You'll have to go through your own video and figure it out. I thought I wrote them all down, so I'm pretty sure it is. But I think it was really that if you want engagement, then you have to engage, right?
Yes.
Like you absolutely have to do that. And I
Right.
think we have such a great opportunity to engage with our guests here and really make that happen. And so one of the practices that I've always done, and I started it on LinkedIn, but I've carried it through all of the social channels, is that when we have a new guest who comes on, we immediately like their channel, follow them in whatever social media platform that is, and we add their channel, we add a video from their channel to our like guest playlist. So we have a playlist that we created in our YouTube channel where we are just highlighting one great video that we really enjoyed from the guest side of their videos. And it could be a sales video, it could be a video about their book, it could be a webinar. It doesn't have to be their podcast video, but
Right.
typically we do share that more often than others. Is
Could I
that a good
jump in on
practice?
it? Did you say, is that a good practice?
I did.
Okay, so I was just going to answer that. So it's a very nice gesture, but here's what you could be creating. When you're asking people to like, and they like you, so they want to be kind to you, are they people who are going to engage in your channel? And if they're not going to engage in your channel, you just set yourself up to not look great in YouTube's eyes or a sponsor's eyes. If they say, okay, this person has 1,000 subscribers, but nobody's doing anything. They
Mm.
all liked you, but they're not following you. They're not watching your videos when they come up. And that's the thing you really have to decide. What do you want, likes, or do you want serious followers who are going
So
to give you a future?
that is such a good point, Fran. And I see this is why I love having Fran on the show, because she always brings up the brilliant, deep knowledge perspective on things. And this works really well for me because my guests are my profile. So they're already podcasters. I want them to follow. I want them because then they'll get served up a video and they're likely to fall down the YouTube rabbit hole of finding out information
Yes.
that they didn't know and then inquire to become my client, even though they were just my guest at one point. So it is my model. So if you're running a guest model and they are your profile, that might be a great strategy. But if they're not, you're just having more people like, but not then engage or comment or watch.
Right.
It's going to down your algorithm. It's going
It is
to
going
it's
to
going to
change.
upset the balance of things. So
And I
you
tell
don't want to.
people, here's my channel. If you feel connected to the content, then please like. If not, then no, don't. And
Wonderful.
don't get me wrong. Many of those likes that I have and the subscribers that I have, they started out in the early years. I was a failure at YouTube for 10 years, right? So some of those people came on that way. And the reason why I failed, even though I was a YouTube partner and I was monetized, I certainly didn't have the audience that I wanted to have. So it didn't help me by having some extra subscribers at all.
That's right. Then, and that's why we are never here encouraging you to pay for subscribers. And I know there are
Oh,
other people out there that do that, but Fran and I do not. We do not believe in it. It is not necessary. You should have in your own membership base, your client base, you should have plenty of people who can benefit from the content, who can be your first subscribers to help you get up to the metric that you need to hit 1,000 subscribers
we
eventually.
we provide enough tools for people to gain subscribers between the optimization and with the shorts, anything that we can do to help you get subscribers. That's great. Just don't pay for somebody who doesn't know you and they're doing it just because they got paid for it to do it.
Yeah, that's not going to help you at all. Well, there's been some things going on about this sort of satisfaction model and ways that YouTube is measuring it. And I actually got served up. So you sent me this great video from TubeBuddy, which is one of you're a TubeBuddy partner, which we absolutely have been introduced to through you and love. And there was this video about these surveys that they'd been doing to test the satisfaction. And I got one this week, which was so funny. It was like all of a sudden I became aware of it and I got one at the same time, which happens so rarely. And
Wow.
lucky for you, it was on your video. So I got to fill out a satisfaction survey on your video,
Oh my
Fran.
gosh, that's so
So
exciting.
I got to leave you a fabulous little 5-star review and told them why I liked it. Like there was like these little, just like little buttons. And it dawned on me that the way that they're doing it is very AI driven. Like I can see the AI because they're planting the types of comments about like what you would say is like this was really detail oriented or this gave me exactly the tip that I was looking for. Like they're kind of planting it in a type, but they've given it a name that helps me identify that. So I don't just write something in random. I click a button that says this is how it
That's
satisfied
really
me.
good. Well,
Right.
thank
So
you
it's
for that.
categorizing it. Yeah. So, but it dawned on me that these ratings and surveys are really going to be valuable going forward because they are really going to set the tone for what we should do more of.
Right. They're grooming us for greatness. They're letting us know what YouTube's about, what their mission is. They're more family oriented and they want people to be liked and they want you to earn money. The more money you earn, the better they do. So yes, they're doing things like that and questionnaires and polls and ratings so that you have a barometer to see how you're doing. That's why I was doing the evaluation reports to let people know how their channels are doing
That's
because
right.
some people don't even know that.
Right. So that's where I want to, before we go today, I want to make sure that everyone knows that Fran is always available to help all of us with that. And she is so brilliant and in really analyzing things through and pointing out things that you go, that should have been so obvious to me. I don't know why I didn't see it. But
Yeah,
she will go through your channel and give you a complete analysis and audit of what you can, an evaluation of how you can improve it. Yeah, we have clients who are typing into the chat right now as we're doing this saying, I'm a witness, right?
who
It's
is
happening.
that, Kevin?
Yeah, that's Kevin
Oh,
Warren.
Kevin.
Sports Chaser podcast
Oh
out
my
there.
gosh,
Yep.
yes.
And so you can book a call with her, and we'll have that link in the chat. It's also because Fran is a partner with Podcasters United. You can reach to her through anywhere in the tip area. You type in YouTube and you're going to find Fran in there too. She's always listed at the bottom of every blog with a link to how to connect with her. But
Awesome.
the most important thing is that sometimes we don't ask. We think we know better. And
Yes.
it really takes a true expert to just open our eyes to, I should be changing that profile header. Why haven't I done that yet?
Yes.
It's time, right? And be thinking about what else I could do to really maximize my opportunities for engagement, for a larger community, for more views, for an expansion of it, and tapping into what YouTube is doing well today. Because I may have set my channel up 5 years ago and it
Yes.
doesn't work like that anymore.
Changes. You're exactly right. That is such an important piece. People think they've done it right, and they did for the time. And they don't know that things change. So even just the shorts, people don't know that the shorts, you can now connect with another video. So people will be watching your short and go over to the video you want them to see next. That just came up. Shorts just came up a little over a year ago. So we have to stay on top of that. We try to do it for you, right? So that you just could come to a podcast or a group. So I had a couple more things for the engagement. I just want to say
Please.
acknowledgement. That is
Ah,
really important. So if you have super thanks, which I just gave you a super thanks video you're going to be posting, I guess. If you're into super thanks where people have an opportunity to thank you for your videos or your lives, you want to acknowledge them for that. If they've commented or shared or maybe shared your video link, something that you know they did for you, you want to acknowledge them. That's another thing. Do not just give them a heart. Use their name specifically. Share their link to their own channel if you can. Like really get into the thanks, like it's meaningful for them and that they feel honored, because people love to see their own name up in lights. They want to know what they are getting thanked for their efforts, and that you really do appreciate them, because they don't want to just give something randomly without ever being appreciated. So definitely want to acknowledge that. Really does promote engagement.
well,
And
and this is the thing. So I am definitely headed into that senior tuber age range. So I don't know about those of you, but I grew up in the East Coast. And so I grew up with Romper Room.
oh, me too.
You grew up with Romper Room too. And that was I mean, how fascinated as kids were we? She looks in the magic mirror and she is acknowledging you from wherever you are because your parent was wonderful and sent your name in. And it would say, Tracy from Connecticut, like, or
Yes.
wherever you were
Oh,
from.
yeah.
And, and that means something to people
It does.
still. It hits us
It
at a
means
place where we really get seen.
yes.
That's
So
so important.
if you can't get it yet by giving it, think about how you feel when you're acknowledged. I stopped in on Kevin's one of his podcasts. He stopped and he says, "Is Fran, my homegirl there?" I clipped it and I posted it for other people to see, because like, oh, look at it, I'm his homegirl. I was just so excited. I've never been anybody's homegirl before, so it was just really fun. So thank you, Kevin, because that was good. And that's what you want to do with other people. By the way, I wasn't the only person he acknowledged. I've gone back to others. So I know he's good to everybody, but I felt like it was my moment. And that's what I appreciated so much.
So creating that opportunity is the best way to encourage more engagement because when they see you doing it for one person, they want to be that person next time.
Yes. Like Romper Room. I don't know
Right.
why she would have ever had my name, but I was waiting for it to show up anyway. Like maybe she would put me out of a phone book. I don't know.
I wished well enough, right? Into the magic mirror. But, here's the thing that I really want to leave with is that this idea that YouTube, Google, everyone is very concerned about inauthentic content, AI driven content, and they are very concerned about that. So they have done a lot to shift the fact that it doesn't matter whether it's AI altered or not if it's satisfying the audience. And that's what they're looking at doing. But it also gives us smaller channels a chance to shine. If we have a real human voice, and even if we don't have a ton of subscribers yet, but we're satisfying the ones we have,
Yeah.
we have an opportunity now for YouTube to boost us. And that is really, I think, the most important opportunity for us to take advantage of. And that's why I wanted to bring you this engagement piece today, because if this can encourage more of that and put you in that place where YouTube sees you as valuable, you're going
Yes.
to tap on the wave of this new channel boost, this small channel boost that they want to give out.
Yes. So before we end, I just wanted to give you my last. I had 5 A's, and I have to finish, right? I have to finish the 5 A's. We're on the last one. So just to go back over, it was ask, answer, your availability, and to acknowledge them. The last one is analytics. Now, how can
Oh,
analytics help you? You'll know if your right audience is finding you. You'll be able to get your demographics, age, gender, location. You'll get to see that. And you can see it by
we
video.
don't get that, podcasters. Just so you know, we do not get this information from our podcasts. We cannot get it. Apple and Spotify refuse to share it with us. This is an opportunity to understand your audience.
Absolutely. So you can get an analytic by your channel, but I recommend you go to your videos analytics as well to see who's watching it, what time of day they're watching it. So you know when to post your videos. You want to promote engagement. You want to give your people who are showing up what they want. How did they get to you? Did they come to you through Facebook? Then you want to promote your videos on Facebook. And what kind of retention? Did they stay there for the entire video, or did they leave after a minute? And why did they leave after a minute? Which is a whole nother conversation we can have, Tracy, on another time. But these are the
Absolutely.
things. It gives you engagement metrics. So what they're sharing, what they're playing back, what they're watching more than once, what they're liking, it gives you all of that, your traffic sources. It's just so important. So just to get to know your audience, to know, like, I have to tell you that my story is I was, I had a channel that I wanted to reach women, because at one point I was just reaching women. And I went in there and I didn't have any women. I had all men. And I thought, well, okay, I should have looked at that a long time ago, right? So I changed it, and within a couple of months, I had mostly women. Now I want to reach everybody, so now I have to, keep changing that. But I get to do it. I'm not a victim to the analytics. I'm in control of it. Once I see how it's working, I get to play with that.
That's fabulous. Such great insights. I told you we were going to have so much fun here today with Fran Asaro, senior tuber, expert in all things deep knowledge YouTube, and always experimenting.
Yes.
Fran, I am so glad you are a part of our community, and I can't
Oh,
thank
God.
you enough for being a Podcasters United partner and supporting all the podcasters out there who also want to be videocasters.
I am thrilled. Thank you. I can't stop talking about it. People are avoiding me now. But yeah, I do love it. If you don't want to talk about YouTube, then maybe we shouldn't talk. So
Well, for those of you watching this on the live stream or listening to this on the podcast, I'm sorry, but we're going to drop off. Our community is so lucky. They get to ask Fran any question they want. So come join our community. All you got to do is go to podcastersunited.org and fill out a membership form. Super simple. We don't cost anything. We don't do anything but make sure that you show up to our live streams and are able to show up to our internal community meetings. So look forward to seeing you there. Thanks everyone
hey,
for
everybody.
listening, watching, and being around for us live today. For those of you on the live stream, I'm Tracy Hazard, and I'll be back next week with Tom Hazard, my co-host, and we'll be talking about another deep podcasting topic. And of course, we're going to have Fran Asaro back here again. Make sure you check out the blog post and check out Fran Asaro, senior tuber.
Thank you.